Hi everybody. I wanted to show you my first Halloween album of the year. I know it's a little early, it's only July still, but you can blame Graphic 45 for that because they came out with their Magic of Oz paper line, which is super cool. Love it. So that's why I made my album so early, because I couldn't resist. This is an 8x8 album, so it's pretty big, and I got a lot to show you, so I'm just gonna jump in here. I made this lilac for the cover, and this was really time consuming, but I think it looks really great. And I put this little book here, and I used a stamping set. They've got 3 different stamp sets from Hampton Art that goes with this Magic of Oz paper line, and I got the I think it's the 3rd stamp set, so I've used that throughout the album. And then I got another little flower here, and then I put a piece of ribbon here, and then I put a Martha Stewart border punch there. And then I used for my, there's my book closure. I used a piece of elastic ribbon, and I put a little Tim Holtz trinket pin with a few beads. I strung a Swarovski crystal to it, and I attached that right to the ribbon. And I used a little toggle set to close it. Okay, I'll show you the inside. This is really neat, this butterfly. I used a butterfly die, and I backed it with some tulle. I don't know if you could see that really well. There's tulle behind it. And I used pop dots to kind of make that pop out. And I made another flower for the top corner here. And it's a little pocket. Stuff comes out like that. And I made this little book for the cover. And it's kind of like a tri-fold. And you could put lots of journaling or something in there. And it opens like that. So I got that. And I know my nails look awful. I got some of the glimmer mist on them, so I don't want you to think it's bad hygiene. It's just glimmer mist. So I got that one. And I made this one. The black paper, I sprayed it with glimmer mist and jack-o'-lantern. So it's got kind of an orange shine to it. And then I just cut a few mats out of some leftover paper I had. And here's what the inside looked like. And I used a bunch of different graphics throughout this album that I found online. I also made a few kits for this, and I made that butterfly for the kit, so you'll get that. And I also did that lilac from the cover, so you get that in the kit too. And there's a bunch of handmade things in the kit. And you can look at that on my Etsy store if you want. Then I got this page. And this one's a flap. It opens like that. And I got all kinds of little picture mats and some more graphics on it. And another flower. Just like that. And this page, it's one of those pages that Graphic 45 is famous for. You know, their whole page picture. And I hate cutting those up. So what I did with this one is I cut a little slit down the middle to make a pocket, and then I made a little book here on the side, and then I use a couple of Sizzix dies to cut these things out. And then this is part of that stamp set I was telling you about, so I made a tag with the stamp set, and then I used glimmer mist for my other tags, so they're nice and shiny. And on this page I used tulle. I'm liking that tulle, and I got tulle in purple on this one. And I got a big flower here, and then I have one of those Tim Holtz, and I don't know what the name of the paper line is, but you know those paper pads he came out with, and I thought that was interesting, so I just cut that out of the paper, and I tucked it under the flower. And I got some feathers, and I got a couple of inserts here. Made this one. I used another Sizzix die to make this little flower. And I put a graphic from the paper line on there and a little glitter flourish. And then you open this up, and you got a little place here for picture or journaling. And then I used my favorite Halloween stamp on the other side. And I used StazOn ink to stamp in distressed with this because the paper is kind of like a non-porous type of paper. It's real shiny. It's really neat, but you know, I don't think the regular ink will really stay on there very well, so that's why I use the StazOn. And then I got a couple more things from the paper line. And then I just backed it with one of the other pieces of paper. Sorry, I'm all over the place here. This, you know, I always have trouble filming when it's an 8x8 size album because it's so big. So there's that. Now, next page, that's what it looks like here. And I made a little clip, which, you know, those of you who've been watching my videos know I love to make these clips, and I made this one. Used a Tim Holtz hinge clip on the back of that. Looks like that. And just made a ton of different mats for there, and then I got a pocket page here with some other mats, more paper. You know, I usually make my book, and then whatever's left over, I just start cutting it up for mats. And I used a Martha Stewart punch along the top of the pocket, and I used a little stamp there, and then I stamped a bird. It was part of that Halloween stamp I like, and then I just cut the bird out and stuck them on there. And I got some more graphics here, and then I cut this little scarecrow guy out of the paper line, and I stuck him right there. And then on this side, I did some more cutting of the paper. I freehand cut out these little pictures from the paper, and then I just made that little pocket right there. Did a little designing there, just some punches I punched out and put some rhinestones in the center. And then this comes out here. This is held by a little paper clip. That. And then on this page, originally I had the mats tucked in under all these flowers here, but then I decided to make a little clip and just put them on the side, attach them to the side. Here's what the page looks like. I used a Martha Stewart punch and distressed it for the little corner or side decoration here. Put another little graphic there. And that's what the little flower arrangement looks like. And then here's the mats I have for it. I made this one. There's another frame on the back. And then I made this little book. And this is basically just cream cardstock, and I distressed it with black ink, and then I put the glimmer mist on it. There's that. And then on this side, I found a graphic online which I include with the tutorial. This scary looking witch lady, and I just sprayed it with glimmer mist, and this is also a flap that opens. There's another little mat inside there. And then on here, this is a pocket down here. Just pull it out like that. I made a title, and I just layered a bunch of strips of paper to decorate that, and I sprayed a Prima flower with glimmer mist. And I got a couple more pieces from the paper line, and then I made these two little tags. One of my beads came off here. All right. And here's the other. These are probably my two favorite pages. We got this one. Made a bunch of mats in here. Got this one. That one. That. And then I did a lot of stamping. I took white ink and I stamped on the black paper, which I thought came out kind of cool. And I did that here too. And right here I stamped right over my little pocket. So that's what that looks like. And then on this side, I did some more stamping in white. Made this little flower and graphic arrangement right there. And then this flips open. And then you have that side. Okay. And then that's what the back looks like. Alright, and that's it. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you are interested in the tutorial or the kits, I have them on my Etsy store. Thanks a lot.